Good morning, guys. I'm starting by myself today because Russ had to jump through the shower really quickly. I'm in the process of making his oatmeal because he has a meeting at 9:45, which means he has to leave here very shortly. So I wanted to get started without him, and he's going to come down. I hear him up there, so he's out of the shower. He should be coming down shortly. I don't know how long it's going to take him. So I'll tell you about my workout, and then when he gets down here, he can tell you about his. Today was a cardio day for me, which means I either rode the bike or swam. Today I decided I was going to ride the bike. When I got to the gym, unfortunately, my knee was being a little tweaky, and I hadn't brought my my swimming stuff. So I did ride the bike, but I had to be really careful with it because if I rode at too high a gear, my knee would pop and ache, and if I rode at too fast, my knee would pop and ache. So I picked a course that was about 10 miles. I actually didn't get to finish it because Russ all of a sudden realized he had a meeting at 9:45 and came and said, "We have to go." So I ended up not finishing my my ride, but that's okay. I got to ride, so that was good. I'm making his breakfast, so hopefully I get it right. I already put in the oatmeal, the spirulina, the melia powder, the hemp seeds. Now I'm adding the chai seeds. Here he is.
Hello, folks.
he's zooming by.
What am I doing?
I don't know. You want to finish your oatmeal?
Sure.
Here. So it already has hemp seeds, chai seeds, melia powder, and spirulina in it.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
Fruits in the microwave.
Very good.
Tell them about your workout.
Oh, so my workout today. Oh boy, I should have fixed my hair better. Hey. My workout today was I did chest, biceps, and forearms. I did kind of a marathon workout because, well, I have early meeting this morning, so I had to get everything done.
How was it?
It was good. Oh, I also did my 10-minute blitz workout. Cardio. Can't forget that. It was good. I did a lot of supersetting. So if you don't understand what that is, that's when you do two exercises simultaneously. That is not as at the same time, but like I'll do.
So rather than resting between a set, you go do something else.
Right, and then you do so you're doing 2 continuous sets, and then you take a break, then you do it again, and that just makes your workout go quicker. Thank you.
Yep. Oh, you need a spoon. I didn't get you a spoon. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
And a knife, please.
And a knife, yes.
Thank you. That'll be awesome.
Here you go.
Thank you.
And here you go.
And thank you.
How are you feeling after yesterday's workout? Are you sore?
Well, you know what? I mean, yes, my back is sore from yesterday, but I think I had a revelation today.
Oh?
So, I did a little woodworking last night, as you know.
Right, you were planing, right?
I was planing.
Which is push.
Which is push. So, I was sore I just realized I'm also getting sore from doing that, too. A couple hours of using a wood plane will, I guess.
Put that in there.
Oh, sorry, Ben. Thank you. We'll do that to a person. Who knew?
What else do you need for your breakfast?
I think just water, and I'm good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you guys, I'm very sad. My little immersion blender that can't anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I burned it out yesterday trying to mix natural peanut butter. I'm really upset about it because I knew that it was getting warm, but that immersion blender has always been just the little blender that could, and so I didn't stop using it. I obviously should have because I burned it out. So we're now in the market for a new immersion blender.
Costco's got one on sale.
Yeah, they do, I think, in the next week or so, so that's cool. Fortunately for me, the blend that I made yesterday I didn't finish, so I can eat that today. So I'm not without breakfast this morning. I have one I can eat.
Right.
But
she was so upset, folks, last night.
I'll tell you. Look, it's so sad.
And I'm like that immersion blender has got to be between 25 and 30 years old. I think we got our money's worth out of it.
Yes, but it was working and I broke it.
Yes, that's true.
So, and then I looked at it to see if I could take it apart. It doesn't look like I can take it apart. So
no, back in the days when they used to make everything solid and encase it so you can't ruin it.
Yeah, so I can't take it apart and see if I can fix it. Or I may bring it to my sister. My sister's a computer engineer. Oh, water's boiling over. And she may be able to help me fix it. So maybe I'll see if she wants to take a look at it. I didn't put your coffee because I don't know how much coffee you put, but I did boil the water for you.
Do I have time? Maybe.
I don't know if you have time.
Excuse me, folks.
So what I told them we're going to talk about today because you weren't here when I typed it, and I made a decision without you. I made an executive decision.
Good job.
I told them that we're going to talk about why we don't like the saying everything in moderation.
Okay.
So here's the deal with when people say everything in moderation, the concern that I have with it, and this is, I guess, me a little bit as a psychologist speaking, is that most people have no idea what moderation is. There's no standard of what moderation is. And so when people say that, it's an excuse to do as much as they're doing of whatever they're doing. And that's not necessarily moderation. It goes with the same idea of people saying, well, you have to live some.
I just had somebody say that to me
Somebody
yesterday.
said that to you yesterday.
Yes.
And so it's an excuse to continue a bad habit.
Right.
Or to do a bad habit as often as you're already doing it. And so I always encourage people, if they want to say, oh, everything in moderation, to really look at why are they saying that? What are they wanting to continue to do? And what does moderation really mean? It's the same goes for average. People say that, well, you know, I'm better than average driver. If you don't really know what average is, you can't say that. So there's no moderation of cyanide. You can't have cyanide in moderation. A tiny bit of it kills you. That's the reality of it.
And that was my planned lunch.
You plan lunch or you have cyanide for
Yes.
lunch? Man, I'm sorry, babe.
God.
No, I will not allow that.
All right.
So the point being is that when people say everything in moderation, it means that they're making an excuse to not change their habits, not create a healthier habit, not do something better. Now, that's not to say that you can't ever do anything that isn't ideally the pinnacle of health. You know, you guys know, Russ and I do go out and we'll have a cocktail together. We actually, yesterday we were out and Russ said to me, so are we going straight home or are we having a cocktail tonight? And while that looked, you know, it sounded great and it sounded like fun, and I love having cocktails with him. He's a great guy to have cocktails with. I recommend it highly.
I am.
I said to him, I said, well, that sounds wonderful and I would love to. We have to consider, though, tomorrow, which is now today, we're going out with friends, which means we'll likely have a cocktail tomorrow. Is it wise for us to make that choice 2 days in a row? And we chose not to because that was the right choice for us. So when you think about moderation, what does that really mean? And what is moderation really something that you can put a number on? And so for me, moderation means less than I probably want to and would ideally do if I could just live life like a crazy human. That's what moderation means to me. But when I work with clients and I ask them, well, what does moderation mean? They say, well, what I'm doing is moderation. And then we have to dig into that. Well, why? Why does what you're already doing equal moderation? And is that the healthiest choice for you, or is that the right choice for you? And that's not an easy conversation to have. It never is. It's tough to be able to say, yes, I believe that everything in moderation is a good thing, but I'm above what moderation is at this point, and I need to back off of that. And that requires some real self-knowledge to be able to do that. So I would encourage you, if you say things like everything in moderation or you have to live some, are you using that as an excuse to do things that are going to kill you? I mean, that's the reality. If that's your excuse for drinking too much, for eating meat every single day, for not exercising, you know, whatever you're using it to make an excuse for, I would like to encourage you to really look at that and say, is that the best thing for me, for my family, for my health, whatever that looks like. Did you want to add something? I said we were going to talk about moderation and I just talked.
You know what? I'm just trying to get my breakfast in before I have to leave.
Yeah,
so.
You have to leave in like 10 minutes.
Yes.
So that's my thoughts on why I really don't like it when people say everything in moderation or, oh, you have to live some. Not good as far as
I did have somebody say to me yesterday, because we were talking about food, and I was telling him, like, well, you know, I was gonna, but I didn't. And he's like, hey, you got to live with some. Actually, he said, you got to live a little, too. And I said to him, and I thought, I started to make an excuse, and then I didn't. I didn't make a comment back. But then later on in the day, I started thinking about it, and I said, well, I think the whole point of what we're doing is so that we can live a little. I mean,
I live a little longer.
I think that is honestly the whole point is, as I age, I don't want to start having to use a walker. I don't want to have to, you know, stop the top of the stairs because I can't catch my breath. You know, we bike ride. I want to continue bike riding well into my old age. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of things I want to be able to keep doing as I age, and that to me is living a little. I mean, that for that expression, that's what it means to me. Having a, I don't know, ice cream sundae, or you know, or eating or having wine every single night, or whatever it is that people do, and they think, well, that's my little thing. You know, I mean, everything has repercussions, and as in a morbid way, I'll just say, my father once told me, and this is when he knew he was dying of lung cancer, that he hit a realization. This is a man that was on his sixth cigarette by 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yikes.
Okay, and he had a realization as he was dying, and he said to me, he said, you know, he said, life in the human body will allow for a lot of things as long as you don't overdo it, and it's when you overdo it that you have repercussions. And that was a realization he got when it was too late, and it was a realization I wish he would have got at a much younger age.
Yeah. So, well, I guess the thing to take away from that is that you've realized it.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, you know, to that point, you can do things in moderation, but make sure that moderation isn't so much that your body can't recover from it. So you guys know that I cut my hand about a week ago. Cut it pretty badly. I showed you the mark last Thursday. I wanted to show it to you again just because this healthy diet is shocking me. Look at this. See if I can show you. That is where I sliced my hand open a week and a half ago. It was really bad. A week and a half ago, and it looks like that now. So I don't know. I agree with you. I think living a little means living a little longer, and that's what we're living a little longer, healthier.
A little better. Yeah.
So I would encourage you to join us. Live a little longer. And with that, we're going to run because Russ has to get to an appointment. I see he's shoving food in his mouth because he's got to get out of here. But thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, I think. I do have a TEDx event to attend tomorrow, so we may do that. I may decide to just go at noon, and so then I'll go to the gym. But I'm planning on being back tomorrow with another interesting opinion about something. So if you want our opinions on something, please do ask. Thank you to all of you who are here. We didn't say hi to anybody today as they joined, and I apologize.
I'll say hi to Howard.
And now Howard shows up just as we're finishing. Right. Sorry, Howard, you'll have to go back and watch the replay. We're done now.
We are done now.
So go ahead.
And with that, we will say, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. Have a great day,
Bye, guys. Bye.